Yo, yo! What's up, good people? The boys from the Phantom Geek Zone are back again with another dope episode for y'all. As per usual, I'm Izzy.
I'm Real.
And today we're going to be continuing once again with our MCU recap series. We're breaking down Black Panther, Wakanda Forever,
Yeah.
aka Black Panther 2. And
Or 3.
Yeah.
It's the second movie we don't know what it could have been.
Amen. Yeah,
Real life affecting fictional life. You know what I mean?
The alternate version,
Yeah.
so to speak.
Yeah. The multiverse. Oh my gosh.
Because, of course, I unfortunately, lost the great Chadwick Boseman, before filming even began. And so this is now the first time we have a solo Black Panther movie without him at the helm. And I mean, what better place to start off than just by getting right to what's your view in terms of how well they did, given such a massive absence? Look, dog, on one hand, it's one thing to lose your lead actor, but we understand the stature that he had. So that loss is compounded as a result,
100%.
Yeah.
And then considering this is kind of the workaround story where they had, or I assume they had a whole full other script.
Yeah,
and
partially, but
they've worked around it.
Yeah.
What a good movie to do justice to him and right by him. And everyone you could see brought it. They were acting for someone, obviously.
Yeah.
And you could feel it. In everyone.
Yeah. I think it, as obvious as it may sound, the highlighting of it is important because someone could lose an uncle today, go to set next week, and then if your husband, in the script has passed on, you use that, to basically, express and mourn and whatever it is that the actor, or the character rather, needs to go through. The actor will draw from their real life. But you as the viewer don't have sight of that.
Yeah.
You don't know the uncle passed away. You don't even know who the uncle is. So even if it does come up in an interview, as an example, it doesn't really mean much to you. Yeah. Versus in this instance, we all knew Chadwick, and I can't recall a single person who's ever had a single bad thing to say about the guy. He was just that type of a presence and a human being. So watching them mourn the character, T'Challa, but at the same time knowing that it's real.
Probably mourning the person as well.
For Chadwick. Not to mention even how they went about crafting the story in terms of honoring his passing.
It's kind of honoring real life. He had a sickness, incurable.
Exactly. Yeah. And it wasn't just there's a scene, someone died, which is, of course, quite common in movies. Someone dies at the beginning and then the rest of the movie just kind of, throughout the entire thing, you felt his, his presence and his spirit in a way. But yes, that context of knowing that, man, we understand to some extent what you guys are going through because we know the person and in our own way kind of mourn him as well. I think that naturally elevated the movie, to another level. But again, which we've mentioned before, this is now the MCU recap series. So some of the movies, this being among them,
we've already
movies
reviewed,
that we've reviewed before. So we've had some time, between now and then, besides just the viewing and all of that. The loss of Chadwick was, of course, a big talking point previously. But I think now, in order to avoid just, repeating ourselves, let's try and dig a little deeper and further beyond that. Overall, with the loss in mind and even just the pivot, you did mention that, you loved how they went about it. But do you think that the story as a whole carried enough weight? Was there an actual story to tell? Did they really dig into the weeds of it?
Look, I think maybe I suffered from recency bias in the first review where I liked it a lot. I still like this movie a lot, but I don't think I liked it as much. Still a great movie. But I don't think maybe that emotion, I've had enough time between detaching from that emotion and just watching it as a movie. Still a good movie, but I don't think it hit or as much. But arguably the story well told, very easy story. And where other Marvel movies have fell flat so often when this kind of hits, is that they've told two stories kind of alongside each other.
Yeah.
With the death, and then you have your villain.
Yeah.
And they've told that really well. Whereas others, you kind of have the backstory or the aftermath or whatever, but they don't really feed, like, you know, I mean, there's focus on one and not the other. Whereas here, the focus of kind of is well balanced.
Yeah.
So I think that's where I was looking on this watch.
Yeah.
I was looking at this movie. Yeah.
And by no means, in case it doesn't need to be said, you know, are we like trying to, of course, like disrespect, you know, Chadwick Boseman in the memory, any of that. But I think I picked up on it as well, hence my asking. You know, I was like, I enjoyed the movie quite a lot. And a lot of those elements that I enjoyed, I still enjoy now.
Same.
But again, just with perhaps more of an objective view this time around, I was like, okay, I perhaps exaggerated it in my mind.
Maybe hyped it up too much.
And I think, to your point, the recency bias is probably what influenced that quite a lot. Because again, naturally, aside from just the whole, you know, worrying about the loss, there's the element of, is this now even going to be worthwhile? Because he is Black Panther, dog. Like, he wasn't just, you know, a side character or anything like that. So I think a lot of it stemmed from how impressed we were with how good a job they did, given
considering
the circumstances. And then, this time around again, I watched. And for some context, right, when you mentioned the Nemo part being so strong, I mean, Chadwick and Ryan Coogler, the co-writer and director, they had a conversation around bringing in Nemo, and there were ideas being thrown back and forth, and so the point I'm trying to establish is that the Nemo part was already going to be part of this. It wasn't,
and they've just kind of shifted it to suit the story.
Exactly, yeah. Then it's the element around him as far as Chadwick passing on that you needed to. I mean, so the bulk, if not the entire script, was pretty much ready, and then they had to change afterwards. But again, even if it was ready, the fact that they didn't compromise it or didn't weaken that story with the adjustments, I think that's to be commended. But I remember I just got that feel where I was like, ooh, okay, maybe this time around, it doesn't necessarily feel as... It's still great, but doesn't necessarily feel as great as it did beforehand. And on that point, do you have specifics in terms of what you think may have influenced that? I've got some ideas, but I just want to hear you.
For me, I can't tell you exactly. Like, it's just a feeling I had watching the movie. It could also be like, we do a lot of watching of movies. It might just be a burnout thing as well, but not actually burnt out. But you know what I mean? Like, the more you do something, the less you get desensitized. Or the more you get desensitized. So there might be some of that feeding into it. But I mean, the movie itself, I think, as I mentioned, like the recency bias, just detaching yourself and then watching it again. Because like there's been a few instances where we watched movies after a big span of time and our opinions have changed. So I think it's just one of those where it's kind of changed.
Enough. Yeah, no, for me, not that there's like a whole list, but I think the one thing that jumped out was a want for more as far as the Nemo part of the story is concerned.
Actually, yes. Yeah. Now that you mention it,
Absolutely, and we'll dig in a little deeper into his side of things. But he did an amazing job. But now watching this time around, I was like, okay, I think that balance as far as, the Wakanda story and then his story, I would have maybe wanted a bit more from his side. Because at the end of the day, we're still talking about a genre story, So the baseline story is what it is. We do still need enough of, whether it's spectacle or action or, but just comic book elements. And I realize now that as great as his backstory was, Nemo, kind of sort of appeared, did something amazing and then disappeared. Appeared something amazing and disappeared. So that's where I'm like, okay, relatively well balanced, but I would have loved the scale to be tipped a little more
I get what you're saying,
in his favor. Yeah, I think that would have helped quite a bit. I don't know if that's maybe triggering something else.
No. I mean, when you mentioned that, I completely agree, because I think first time around on the watch, we were like, oh, he's amazing. Still amazing. But
of course,
now that you mentioned, yes, his time was actually a lot less than we initially thought it was. So totally agree.
Yeah, so that for me, I mean, again, as if I haven't said it enough, is still a great movie, but I think that's where the ultimate weak point lied as far as reflecting back. But let's then just get into all the characters. I want to start off with Letitia Wright as Shuri. And I mean, we've spoken about from the Ryan Cooglers and all of that, everyone else, as far as having to now scramble around and
Find a new
step
Black
up
Panther, yeah.
without Chadwick Boseman. But I think, man, to her, she definitely not even I think or whatever. She definitely doesn't get enough credit because I have not seen enough chatter around that particular point as far as stepping up.
And the amount of acting she did. Like,
that's the thing. I don't just mean taking on the Black Panther mantle, but just,
like just
carrying the
acting,
story as the lead actor. Like, yeah.
Like the quirky fun that you still get a bit of that.
Yeah.
When she's with the general, then you get a lot of the emotive stuff when she's with her mom, sitting on the river. I'll burn it all down.
Dude, yes. Yeah.
And then towards the end when she's like burning the calico or whatever, symbolically burning something, and then talking to Nakia and her nephew. Just the acting chops, like the tears, the aggression, the vengeance, and man, it's so good.
And not a single one that you could blame her for as far as all the emotional points that she was hitting, including the vengefulness and even summoning Killmonger. In, the spirit realm.
It's like, she's like, she wasn't expecting it, but who she is, and you know what I mean? Like, that was a dope cameo as well.
Yes. Michael B. I always love it that no matter how much I may enjoy the movie or not, if it can still surprise me on a rewatch. So I completely forgot he was in this.
Same. I also forgot about Riri Williams, Ironheart.
Oh, okay.
I was like, oh shit, Ironheart.
The scientist,
I was like, the scientist.
But I think, back to the Letitia story and just finishing that off, I enjoyed it would have been very easy and convenient for them to have like a momentary moment or momentary feeling of wanting vengeance, whatever, and then maybe one or two speeches from the mom, and then she's like, calm down, and but she carried it throughout the entire movie, right up until the very end.
And you fully believed she was going to kill him.
That's why I'm like, it was also all well justified, because she's like, yo, I've now just lost my brother.
I couldn't save him. I'm a genius and I couldn't save him.
Exactly.
You killed my mother.
Yeah.
You displaced my people.
Dude.
And
and even just...
And you threatened my people as well.
And again, that whole thing of wanting to burn the world down, which came up before even losing the mom, like that rage that she had. And her just carrying it.
For me, I must shout out the conversation she had with Winston Duke, Mbaku. And it's like, what is your head saying? What is your heart saying? And then that scene encapsulated.
Man, that scene for me was just everything, particularly the
what is it? Your brother's worst enemy at one time is like your only person in the world now?
And it also highlights how, because again, the Jabari, as much as they are an isolated and ostracized tribe from Wakanda, they still lived in Wakanda. They never left, Wakandans. Number one. Number two, they always fought for Wakanda. I mean, if you think of the...
Infinity War.
Exactly. Battle against Thanos and his goons. They were there fighting alongside, Whenever their customs and traditions, they are still a part of the mix.
Well, they're the ones who saved T'Challa in the first movie,
They housed him and, kept him alive and all. So I say that to say, it was almost painted as an enemy, but if you think about it, it's just more of a difference of opinion.
Yeah, it's like a Democrat and a Republican type of situation.
But at the same time, you know that you both
still
love
got
this
a common
country
goal,
and you're trying to work towards the betterment of it, which is why, because it would have been, granted he didn't know, but besides not knowing about her being recreated, there were no attempts to run some sort of a coup and take over the throne or anything like that.
It's just like, what do you need? How can I? Because he's asking basically asking, what do you need? How can I support you?
Which shows respect to not only the traditions, but her role now as the queen. I don't think that part got highlighted enough. We were...
Because it wasn't like a coronation.
And it's like, again, we weren't necessarily told that, she's leading, but we're shown that, okay, she's making decisions and so on, but just that whole thing of making it official that, no, you're the queen. But I suppose it's maybe just trusting us to be smart enough to follow on that. The king died, and then the mother took over. And then the mother died, and then now she has stepped in. And of course, one of the greatest pieces of dialogue in that conversation, with Mbaku asking what she thinks, and then she's like, oh, now you want to ask what the will of a child doesn't even believe in traditions?
And then it was like that bar. It's like, life is taking too much from you to
still be considered a child. And yeah, when I heard that, I was like, listen, man.
There were some bars in this movie.
And that scene on its own, man. And even the whole thing of, no, man, I promised your brother I'd look out for you all. And
so
and I'm like,
that just shows you, like, Letitia, right? She did what she needed to do,
and more,
and you know, it's big shoes to fill. Chadwick Boseman, like the first like black superhero in the MCU, prominent across all movie franchises possible. Exactly. You got Blade and stuff, but like the current, like, the modern,
as far as the prominence of this, and we remember, dog, in 2018 what this movie did when it dropped, and just the fanfare and all of that.
It was wild. It was like a cultural phenomenon, and just to fill those shoes, and be convincing in it,
no, she by no means gets does not get enough props for it, and we speak a lot about her, you know, replacing Chadwick, but if you think about it, with
I wouldn't even say replacing. It's like it's like a succession.
Yes, you know, having to succeed him, right, as the lead actor. But and Angela Bassett, of course, has all the gravitas in the world. But with her death in the movie, she also had to, you know, succeed her. So it's like stepping into two pairs of
big
major shoes, essentially. That I think not a single, but like hardly enough people have given her proper props for. But don't worry, girl, the Phantom Geek Zone is out here. We're rooting for you. And absolutely amazing, man. That by no means took a dip in the second viewing, you know. Angela Bassett, we touched on her. And I will forever say, dog, like that Oscar win to Jamie Lee Curtis for that particular role in everything all at once, whatever. Like, nah, I enjoyed the movie, but her character, man, it just wasn't it. Unless it was their way of doing, like, you know,
it's
that
Hollywood Foreign Press
Oscar and, like, you know, honorary type thing. But if there's any role that and she's done a lot of amazing work, of course, but with this one,
she brought it.
I'll always go back to that scene. Have I not lost enough?
Yeah.
Oof.
And the supporting cast there as well. With the general, she's like, I've got nothing. This is all I know. Dude. And she's like, all you know. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't need to
and to still go on and like demote her. Like, let's talk about that scene for a sec, dog. Like,
and she straight up is like, have I not given enough when you took my son off his throne and put, you know, somebody else? And I was like, and I had to watch, and I was like...
And then you took my daughter, and I tried to tell you, and you're like, nope. You went with her, and then now she's been taken, you know, at your hands. Yeah, talk about a masterclass in just acting, to everything, man.
I mean, like, and it's a big scene. There's like 20 people there.
But she carried it like it was nothing,
Encapsulated.
Man. Even the general, while we're on that, like...
She killed it. She was
her
like,
chops.
I mentioned that she's my favorite. We're like, she's the best. But like here, it's like you got to see more of a character as well.
Yes.
Like, yes, you got the fun, sarcastic nature of her, but then the emotive stuff as well.
Yeah.
Like yes, the scene with Angela Bassett.
Yeah.
And then even throughout, it's like the fighting, or even with the fights as well. Like in terms of like a whole encapsulated performance, including action and comedy, and the acting chops, I'd say it's one of the more holistic ones in this movie, because like the spear fighting on the bridge,
dude,
man.
Yeah. Even the thing with just the car, like that level of improv, like, you know, holding the spear there in the back and then turning it into like a makeshift little, catapult, if you will. Like,
a battering ram,
Dog,
so I mean, even just the interaction with Shuri is like, look, my makeup good?
The makeup and
and them shamelessly plugging Rihanna with Fenty. I was like,
yes. Dog. Like, yo, I think, again, and I'll go back to that, the scene with Angela Bassett and with her as well. They did so much with all the screen time in general, but that scene, it told you everything you needed to know about them, and the display of the acting prowess for me, like, it's just one of those like nail-biting scenes. And again, the emotion that the mother had along, I just lost my son, I'm still mourning, and then now as you said,
daughter.
his throne was taken and everyone had agreed and all of that stuff. It's like she's still dealing with the consequences of all of that on an emotional level. And then now the son goes and dies and the daughter now gets taken. So it's like every last little bit that she ends up having
is gone now.
gets removed from her. Hence, again, have I not lost enough? All while
Still
your
leading
whole
a nation,
country
yeah.
is being threatened. Exactly. Because I mean, the homie has been saying that, hey, I'm going to mess y'all up
Yeah.
if y'all don't. And all of that was under major duress, by the way. But we'll touch on it when we get to Namor. So, yeah, for me, absolutely brilliant, man.
Angela
And
Bassett, great.
the Oscar thing, it is what it is. But I like
her and I would love to see her and Michelle
Michelle-
Obama
yeah.
in an
You
arm
would-
wrestling contest.
I was waiting for that day.
I probably made this joke already, but
I
yeah.
was waiting, yeah. And the funny thing is, because of that, now when watching her, the arms stood out so much more. I'm like, damn, and they really are like, all toned and whatnot. So yeah. Hey man, she looks amazing. It
Yeah.
is what it is.
But it was really cool to see, like, obviously she's got the headdress and she's the queen, but in the
Yeah.
intimate moments with Shuri, you see the hair and you're like, oh damn, she's full grey.
Yeah.
She's a mother, she's
Yes.
old,
Yeah.
and it's just like,
Having to carry
Yeah.
all of these things as well. But again, at the first sign of danger, like no hesitation, just holding the spear and bracing for action. Like, yeah, those nuances that came through, I think
Yeah.
absolutely, man, amazing.
man, we've talked about the general. Which,
Yeah, we touched on the
it's good.
general. Then the big guy. We gave a little shout out to Mbaku as well.
Yeah,
He did his
Winter
thing.
Duke, yeah, for
But
sure.
yeah, over to the big dog, Namor himself, man. Tunesh Huerta.
Tonight Huerta,
Yeah. Absolutely brilliant,
Wow,
man.
killed it, man.
Hadn't seen him before the movie. Haven't seen him since. oddly
maybe
enough.
he's more like not in the Hollywood.
Yeah, no, he is a big Mexican star.
Okay, yeah, okay.
So probably killing it over there, hopefully anyway. But
Yeah.
once again, dog, the performance blew us away the first time around. Speak on it as far as, the rewatch and perhaps new things or whatever
For
that you
me,
picked up.
I really enjoyed the intros. Like, first, you don't even know who he is. He's just swinging a helicopter in a circle and throwing it into the ocean.
Yeah,
I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And there's such a, like, introducing I don't know, maybe the Atlanteans in this, but his people.
The people of Talukan.
Talakan, let's call them people of Talakan rather.
Yeah.
Just them and the siren songs and like, oh
Yeah.
man, what an intro
Yes.
into the villains.
Amazing.
Or villains.
Antagonists.
Antagonists,
Yeah.
The opposing parties.
Sure.
Yes. And then the second one where he just comes out of the water and they're like, how did you get into Wakanda? I was like,
Yeah. That little slow-mo, dog, like, oof.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like the guy had to swim like maybe 100 kilometers underwater. And and it was just like, he's there and then he's gone. And then the scanner's just there. It's like, how did it end up there? It's just like...
This massive thing, by the way, hey, like not talking about an A-tag, like, yeah.
So like the intros were just done so well.
Yes.
And even Shuri just to like, mother, he's covered in vibranium.
Yeah.
And it was just like, wow.
Yeah. Right after the reveal that they've got
Yeah.
vibranium, and they're like, no, only Wakanda has it, and it's like,
and it's not-
he's literally covered in it. Oof. Yeah. Insane. Insane.
Yeah, that. And then for me, it was just like, I picked up more on his personality, right? I loved how like unapologetic he was. It's
conviction.
like, the conviction, like unapologetic. He's like, you either join me or I burn you down with them, or you'll be the first to burn down.
Dude.
And you never doubted he was going to do that.
Speak more about that, because that's also
Yeah.
what stuck out a lot more. I'm like, yo, dog, not even on some full-on diplomatic thing, or at least go fight them on your own, and then maybe he's like
It's
from
also,
the jump.
it's also like, you know how some people you see the switch? Like for him, it's not really you see the switch. It's just yes, and it blends into no. It's just like, it's one spectrum. Like, you know what I mean? Like when he was talking to Shuri, like, oh, they were so cordial. Welcome to these are my people.
Yeah.
And then he's like, these are my people. This is why I do it. You must understand this now. You know,
and then she was still kind of sort of, but he's still on it, like, hey, we have to. There's no other way. And
Yeah, so like I really enjoyed the conviction and the unapologeticness. And then shout out, I really appreciated the winged or the fighting scenes where he's flying.
Yes.
And just the aerial dynamics. So that's more on the cinematography side. So that's me and what I appreciate.
Yeah.
I don't know about you.
Nah, man, I definitely am still sticking on homie being like, talk about like a great surprise. You know, I didn't know of him.
Yeah.
I think I may have been lucky to even avoid knowing that he's gonna like the character.
Yeah.
I don't know the character, but just the fact that there's gonna be someone named Nemo or like a poster or like I didn't know.
Okay, so you knew nothing.
I feel like
man, that's such a cool like. You know when they say you watch something for the first time and like
And I say that knowing that you know me, I tend to avoid trailers and all of that stuff. But with being such a doom scroller,
dodging Spider-Man's new trailer is.
And even besides that, then they'll still have like character posters. So there'll usually be something that'll come your way without you intending to find it out. So with this one, I believe none of that had taken place. So his surprise was literally that for me, an amazing one at that. And this time around, it genuinely felt no different. Like I said, the biggest thing was just, man, more of him would have been great. But now I'm also like locked in. Every word he's saying, like his backstory, all of that. Because I said time and time again, dog, even if someone is against the villain, the question is, why are they doing what they do? And it's very hard to just be like, oh, but he's wrong.
Yeah.
He's not. You get a breakdown of his backstory and you're like, oof.
Maybe the extent he's going to might be wrong, but his motivation
exactly. If you understand that, hey, man, especially because even in real life, sometimes no matter whether it's you or even your friends, like
people understand oppression.
And we also have that notion of I have to take care of my people no matter what, because then everyone else will try and come in from the outside, try to like coach you to no. Here's how to best take care of your people. Here's how to, and you're just like, these are my people, and you don't know what we've been through.
Yeah.
Listen to me or get the hell out of my way, type of thing. So even on that level, I was kind of related, like, I kind of hear you, dog. I kind of hear you, And speaking of wanting more, that scene when they went back and the Spanish had, infected his people and the berry, I'm like, why are we just quickly skirting by that? Like, I understand it could only ever be super violent, but a little more, I feel like would have been so dope. Not only as a display of power, but even just to, not that the motivation needed any additional elements, but as part of just the display of it, if you will, just in terms of what he had to do at that young of an age. And then how he's always just kind of, had his view locked in as far as the surface people being evil.
Even show us the time span, because they say he's aged slower than his people.
Exactly.
Show us him, maybe like, I would have liked more. So maybe him in different eras.
And also losing everyone and just getting
to the surface people in different eras, like the Spanish, then like whoever else.
Because it was definitely not the last time that, any sort of colonization would have taken place. So
or even the Civil War or something.
Would have been pretty amazing to witness, actually. Yeah, so again, more fleshing out of his backstory.
But understandable, he's a side character.
He's a side character, and there's already so much else to address. But this is just, wishful thinking, if you will. But I think to avoid, repeating myself too much, I don't think, especially as far as like any negatives and so on, there was necessarily anything else I feel like I would have wanted, because he did his thing, man. He absolutely killed it. Made sure you understand who he is, where he's coming from, and what more could you want.
We're most likely going to see him again.
Yeah, the way they set it up, it seems to likely be going that way. I would absolutely love to. And
that's the thing. It's like, I don't know if he's going to be an anti-hero or a villain or it's like, it's
but
quite
whatever it is, we gotta see it, man. And not to mention even just the beauty of that Talukan and the underwater scene.
And it's so different if you're comparing to DC's Aquaman, where it's vibrant colors and bright and everything, whereas here's it's just people.
Yeah. They're just living their normal lives, and you see that love and adoration every time they see him come through. It's like, our hero, man, our dude. Like, absolutely love that. Then the other thing, I don't know if you want to maybe touch on a bit more on Riri Williams before we get back to the rest of the larger story.
I mean,
she was
cool,
yeah. I just didn't like that tie in too close to like the Iron Man of things, and I would have wanted
if they did. So I think for me, my gripe was, if they're gonna tie into Iron Man, go all the way, tie in and do everything Iron Man did, or don't have an in between.
Yeah, I think the in between is where I had an issue with it. I would have preferred. Look, you can touch on the inspiration element, but make it so far removed that it feels like it's actually her and not necessarily some 2-bit replacement, basically.
And our favorite colonizer.
Of course, good old Ross. Yeah, and the fun twist with him,
Being
exes
married
with
to,
Julia Louis-Dreyfus's character and all of that. I mean,
Val de Fontaine.
it's always lovely seeing her. So shout out. Which I don't even recall which came first now, because I had always believed the series Falcon and Winter Soldier to be her first appearance, but I don't know if maybe this would have come out first. But movie-wise, it was her first appearance, and
you'll see her.
Of course, not the last as well, but it's always fun when seeing Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Yeah, and them being married was wild.
Yes.
I was like, I've got things to discuss with you about the divorce. I was like,
Because the whole time was like, he's like, General's like, it's General now, and like the whole thing of like being official, and then you realize, that's why there was that little banter around that element. But also her just saying, I bugged them, like I placed them there, like.
But that's her character, right? She's like always one step ahead of everyone. Yeah.
And master manipulator at that, I mean, even the whole time, who's that? Oh, hi, honey. Oh, new girlfriend. Oh, okay, no, don't worry. Let me, But the whole time she knows that, hey, man, I know exactly what's happening. That was pretty badass, because it was like a show of power in a sense as well, which I enjoyed. And I mean, clearly he's like the go-to white dude, for the Black Panther movies and Wakanda scenes, and it was like, I'm not mad at it. He's cool, chill.
He plays it so well as well. It's just like,
And I particularly like how he doesn't come through as like the white savior type of dude. Where he's all arrogant and like, hey,
he's the one getting saved.
Literally, he doesn't come through like, hey man, we got the muscle, we got the power. There's always that timidness
and there was that line. It's like, what is it? It's like, what happened? What would happen if we had the vibranium?
Can you imagine things we would do? And she's like, I can't stop dreaming about it. And
so it kind of puts you in his mindset. Like he knows his people, he knows,
and he also understands where they're coming from in their perspective. But I loved Val's response around, I can't stop dreaming about it, because there was that conviction, which is literally how America works. Also, man, it's like, hey, man, we out there for power. We're going to take it by any means, and we're going to do what we do. So even that whole thing of not tiptoeing around it, I was like, I appreciated that, Fun shout out once again to Trevor. I forgot the voice, but the AI.
Yeah, Griot.
Yeah. I was like, there's our dude coming through once again.
I didn't realize how much he featured in the movie.
Yes, there's a lot of him this time around.
I was like, okay.
Yeah. And it's always funny listening to him, because he's clearly like putting on, because he doesn't have a typical African accent, or even South African for that matter. He's more on the neutral side, but hearing him then put on the accent in there is always like a bit funny for me anytime I hear it. But shout out to him. Then I think, as far as the characters, man, that's pretty much it. And I guess to just put a bow on the story, we spoke about there's the loss of Black Panther. And even the decision to not replace Black Panther and just living in that for quite a while, I think, that took some guts to do so. And Shuri now has this guy coming through from another land, Nemo, on some, hey man, join us to defeat these guys, or I'm gonna come and mess all of y'all up, which he of course then goes and does. And she's just on some, I wanna burn the world down, and I'm gonna start with this guy because he's killed my mother. And just having that rage-filled scene at the end, I think for me, I would have wanted a bit more of that as well, before she then just turns around on some, okay, I'm not going to kill him, and, just that berserk mode, basically.
But I think, like, I see where you're coming from, but just to have the thing of cutting the spear while you're impaled and going for it just shows the level of, like, I want this guy.
Good point. Yeah. Good point. Okay.
Me personally, I would have liked to see a bit of blood on the spear shaft.
Yes.
But it's okay. Like, just the drive to... Yeah.
I definitely noticed the absence of it, but I'm also at that point, I'm like, Marvel,
but for me, it's just the drive to...
It would have added to it, but yes, I think, the way they chose to go about it. Because again, that also would have been a typical scene to have it be like, I'm impaled, fine, let me come to my senses, let me stop. But she was still like, nah, I'm gonna
go for it.
Nah, that was pretty incredible. And of course, because we want to see more of him, I guess then the decision to capture him and not necessarily like, kill him or anything like that is like, we can't necessarily be too mad at it. Not to mention, as much as it was great to see her go beast mode, they couldn't have ended it off that way. They still had to bring her back at some point.
Yeah, she had to be the Black Panther and not Killmonger.
Actually. And also, I guess that emotional tug of war was quite an interesting one as well to have to deal with.
Yeah, and like, even Nakia was like, who did you see?
Yeah. Tell me the truth, because I mean, clearly you're lying to me. Nakia, another shout
Yeah.
out, like amazing.
It was cool to
spy
see her as a
character.
spy this time.
Yeah.
Not just the love interest.
Exactly. She definitely like stepped up in this particular role. And even the whole thing of like the queen going to her and be like, hey man, you're the one I'm gonna use as like, my little side agent, if you will, to infiltrate that other camp, because we can't go direct and our hands are tied where this is concerned. Lupita Nyong'o definitely did her thing. And I think to tie off, again, not just the story, but even Shuri's arc, the fact that only at that point, upon letting go of the anger, was she then ready to burn the garments and complete that mourning cycle. I was like, oof. I caught that during this viewing, and I was like, yeah, a nice little bow, to put on the story. I'm certainly not mad at that. I don't know if there's anything else you would like to get into.
What did I want to say? The two communities, Talokan and Wakanda, I kind of saw it as two sides of the same coin.
The vibranium coin, if you
will. The vibranium coin, yeah. If you even have vibranium coins, where one, you've had the vibranium, you become a utopia, whereas the others, they had vibranium, they were oppressed and became a utopia, but under like more stress, more oppression. So, kind of the same society, but different value systems. So I really like that little side-by-side comparison.
Yeah. I think along with that, I appreciate the fact that it wasn't necessarily a copy and paste.
Yeah.
It's like, we also have vibranium, we like this. It was interesting to see, it's almost like the direction that both camps took as far as how they were going to then make use of it. Because, I mean, the one was clearly just thriving.
Yeah.
And the other,
and the other one was thriving.
But it doesn't, Wakanda is rich as hell. You feel it. Whereas with them, it doesn't really come through. Yeah. It's like you're not impoverished or anything.
And you definitely have these technologies.
Exactly.
But so, you're more like living your best life.
Just kind of getting by,
existing,
so to speak. Yeah, I think that was actually quite an interesting one. Perhaps would have been
because you had the sun, sun underwater.
I brought the sun to my people. I think, that would have been interesting to delve into, even if it's just a little speech or so, just as far as why they chose that particular direction. Because, I mean, with Wakanda, I don't think we need to break it down. It's just clear as day. Like, hey, man.
And it's quite cool to see, like, you have Wakanda where your leaders have just died. And here you've had a leader who's been there for, like, hundreds of years.
And it's also like, but I suppose maybe the immortal aspect is what brings that in.
Yeah. But, like, just that stability, you know what I mean? Just the
without him, it's like, hey, man, what the hell are we gonna... And I remember even with that one girl who was dying, she's like, no, Kakukan, please save me. And,
I mean, that's the thing. They could refer to him as a god, right?
That's my point. They're looking at him as like the all-time savior. Whereas, again, Wakanda's more about, hey, man, y'all all flourish, y'all do your thing. But we're going to make sure that, the land as a whole is good. So, quite an interesting dichotomy between the two worlds. Any major letdowns or lowlights?
Riri's suit looked like a toy.
Yes.
That's my one gripe with the movie. Like, it looked like a toy. Like, an Iron Man suit, I guess we have a bias towards it's more Tony Stark, but it looks like an Iron Man suit.
The look of it was sick,
whereas here, it definitely can look really cool, but it looked like a toy.
Yeah. I definitely picked that up. I also didn't really like that Midnight Sky, whatever it's called. The
Midnight
new costume.
Angel,
Yeah, I understand why you like to do that, especially because it's Shuri. She's new age, not much in tradition, whatnot. But I feel like a better blend also would have been dope. Like the blue, I didn't understand.
Oh, I enjoyed the color schemes.
For me, it also felt too close to the Talokan color scheme. So I'm like, no, man, where's the separation? And if you want to do like the Midnight Sky thing,
why not make it black or gray?
Exactly. Like there's other darker shades that you could have gone with.
Like a black and red for the Dora Milaje. Oh,
that's then my next point, right? They had that, not only the red color scheme, but it had that tribal feel. And the fact that there wasn't a fusion, not one that I felt connected to anyway. Like, the lack of the fusion between the two was, because I mean, that's why the general also wasn't a fan of it. It's like, oh, what's this? And mocking it all the time, whatever, because she's all about the roots and the traditions and all of that. So I think that's, the one other little pet peeve I had. Black Panther suit, what do you think?
It's a Black Panther suit. Can't do much wrong with it.
Yeah. I like the color scheme, like that whole black and gold. But overall, it didn't really do much for me. And I think, but also, I mean, poor Shuri, you know, we can't blame her for her own stature.
Yeah.
Because there's also a menacing element of the original Black Panther suit.
Big.
So, yeah, we can't necessarily fault her for that. But yeah, it's just more the design than anything. But other than that, I'm guessing then that's pretty much all
that's
the
it on
thoughts.
my side,
Yeah. Out of 10, what's the score this time?
I think, yeah, it's a solid 8. Great movie.
Yeah.
Good rewatch. Good acting.
An 8 from my side as well. Top 5, I don't think so. Man.
No, I think before I rewatched, I would have said yes, it's definitely going in.
Yeah.
On the rewatch, I'm like, great movie, but I don't think it's cracking the top 5.
Going in, I was also, again, not for the spectacle, but the emotional weight and the storytelling. I thought it might have a fighting chance, but I don't think the execution warrants the top 5, in as much as it's still, you know,
a great
movie, story overall. And then to recap the top 5, right? We've got Infinity War as number 1. We've got Iron Man 1 as number 2. We've got Spider-Man Homecoming as number 3. Then we've got Spider-Man No Way Home in number 4. And then Civil War shares a spot with someone. Endgame.
Okay.
In the 5th slot. So again, it's the heavy and a loaded top 5. So it's going to be interesting to see if someone does end up piercing through.
Yeah.
But I mean, anything is possible, man. Otherwise, that's been it from our side for this episode. Follow us on Instagram, you know, the Phantom Geek Zone. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. And as far as what's coming next, just keep your eyes glued to PGZ. Peace.